And there's no music. Woo! Hey, Cynthia. Hey, everyone. Welcome to All About the Joy Friday Night Live. Cynthia's in the house. We don't think we're going to see Rick tonight, but Rick, we love you. Thinking about you. Hope all is well. Jump on when you can. I'm not going to put the chat on today because just you and me, and we'll see. Oh, there's people on. I should probably put on the. I'm sorry. They just showed up. I got to do it. I know, but we don't like it. Like, do you want to be up on top? Would that be better?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, they're just watching. You know what? If they actually say something, I'll see it and then I'll put the chat up or whatever. But I'm sure it's Melanie. Hi, Melanie.
Yes, our MVP.
I know, right? The MVP. She's so cool. So how are you doing? I mean, we just had this conversation in the green room, so we're gonna pretend it's fresh and new. How you doing, Cynthia?
Good. Work wasn't too bad this week, actually. Yeah, we're still kind of in limbo with the whole new reorganization thing that's supposed to start on Monday. But what do you mean?
What do you mean? You didn't say that in the green room. What do you mean?
Yeah, so I guess there's this whole new thing now that's going to start on Monday where there's a whole group of us are now being split up into 3 different groups, and now we're each going to have our own supervisor, our own new supervisor.
Oh, it's like structural changes.
Okay. Yeah. So I won't have the supervisor I have now, which is fine.
I'm telling you, all these people watch the show. You're very mean to your supervisor. I'm just kidding. It's so funny. I was talking to Mario, and he's wait, what?
I'm not the only one who had issues with this person. So
no. I just laughed because like I was just talking to Mario, and we did a recording for the private lounge. It's going to air on Sunday, everyone. But he called me like today. He was just kind of like, hey, you know that thing I said? Do you think we could delete it? I'm like, dude, I've already done it. Like, it's edited, it's ready. Like, once it's ready to go, it's out there. I can pull it back. But I was cracking up. I'm like, see, because you guys know people do watch the show. You got to be careful. Hi, Melanie. How are you? Okay, I have to put this on here. Melanie. Hi, Melanie. Look at Rick is in the house. Rick! I just said you weren't going to be here.
No, I just said I'm running very late, basically.
Oh, I misunderstood. I told Cynthia it's just going to be me and her. We're going to have a great time. Rick is an asshole.
Oh, I can leave.
What?
I can leave. It's fine.
You said, well, mom is nowhere even acting sleepy, let alone.
And she's still not. And she's still not.
Sleep.
Okay, so but you able to watch and pay attention and whatever.
Yes.
How are you doing?
Tired. So I'm glad tomorrow's Saturday. I could sleep in a little bit and relax a little bit, and
yeah. So before we get into the fun, I am gonna, and this, I just told Cynthia, this is why Rick ain't coming on. I can't not mention the Charlie Kirk thing. So I just want to say, a lot of people got upset with me because I think we need to show empathy. And people came out the woodwork like, mad at me because I don't think people know what empathy is. Like, that's maybe something we can talk about. Let me explain what empathy is. It doesn't mean I agree with anything Charlie Kirk ever said. People know I am not in that camp. But empathy, in the simplest way I can explain it, is, let's say we're both in the rain. We're in the pouring rain or whatever. I would say to you, you know what? I understand how cold and wet and clammy you are. I get it. That's empathy. Compassion is me wanting to do something to fix it. So here's an umbrella. That's the difference. And I don't think people understand that. And I think what's important about what happened this week that I took away from this, and I hope other people get this too, and that's why I wanted to mention it, is I think we're losing a lot of our humanity. And I wish we wouldn't. And I'm always going to stand in the place where we are better than we used to be. You know what I mean? And I know it was a hard week for a lot of people, so try to look at yourselves and reevaluate. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having empathy. I think we should always have empathy for people, especially when we disagree with them. So I was telling Cynthia in the green room that I'm like, Rick never writes anything on a TikTok I did. Like, and he was like, remember you wrote on the TikTok, you're like, all these comments in this thing. And I'm like, yeah, but it's because people are hurting. And you know, as a pastor, reverend, what do you call yourself? Reverend pastor?
Just Rick is good.
Lover of
I'll be
Christ.
like Cynthia, just Rick.
Oh, yes, Rick. But you do your show or whatever. And it's like, but that's where we have to be our best selves and understand that people are hurting on all sides of this. People are angry. I think one of my favorite things was that people came out and said, well, Charlie Kirk said he didn't believe in empathy, so I ain't got no empathy for him. I'm like, wait a minute. So you do believe in things he said? Like, you can't have it both ways. You know what I mean?
The contradictions are crazy.
They are crazy. So I say blessings to, his children and his family. And that's all I want to make sure we mentioned it. Look at as much as we don't talk about, I don't think this is about politics. That's why I told Cynthia in the green room, I have to mention it. This isn't about politics to me. This is about a bigger issue of humanity and being able to have empathy in these hard moments. Who are you in this difficult time tells me everything I need to know, So.
And the thing that disturbs me is, and this is for everybody, both sides, if there are sides. How do I say this? I just lost my thought kind of now. I was going to say
That's
something.
okay. You said what bothers me on both sides.
Right.
I said empathy.
Here it is. I got it. If you're not on my side, you're worthless.
So, yeah. And look,
everybody thinks that. Not everybody thinks that. But
no.
Really do.
Right. So the complication there is Charlie Kirk did a very good job of dividing people. That's part of, and so as much as I agree with you, I also can understand why people are doing this. Everyone is going into their silos. Everyone's going into their place, and it's like, how do we get people back? Not by banishing them, not by telling them that they're wrong to feel that way, but to try to navigate away and give them space to understand it doesn't matter how you feel about him. Who are you as
a human being?
That's right. That's right.
Whose two kids are not now going to grow up without a daddy.
Right. And then the feedback I would get, well, nobody cared about the state senator from Minnesota when she was killed with her husband. And that was a political assassination. It was in June. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, so this is the thing. Like, exactly. So now it's all the whataboutism. We don't want to do the whataboutism, right? Hey, Tony, how are you? You know what I mean? Like, how come you didn't do this then or whatever? It's like, because people on the right and people on the left and people in the middle have fallen into the division roles that they have been given by the powers that be. And Trump strokes this all the time, right? Trump did no favors to anyone by going up there and being, you heard him, the left is bad, it's their fault. And we didn't even know what happened. And now we know he's come from a Republican family and he's from Utah and he's a young white man. And the real question here is about guns. Like, I don't care how mad that man is, how angry someone is. Why do you have a gun to kill somebody over it?
Yeah.
I don't care how angry I might have been at anybody in my life. I've never thought, let me pick up a gun. So I think that's part of it too, is like, and I implore you, Rick, especially because you have your people, but all of us, it doesn't do us any good to be angry with people who are reacting a certain way or being judgy about people, understanding that the reason why people are acting the way they are, there's reasons for it. There are valid reasons for it, but how do we get back to people to a place where we can be more empathetic? And at least, I wrote a very nasty thing on my, thank you, Tony. Oh, Tony's talking about our show, Culture and Consequence, which is on YouTube right now. We talked about this issue. Thank you so much. One last thing, what was I just going to say? Oh, I wrote on Facebook, like the day it happened or something. I guess it was kind of nasty, but that was my version of nasty. I was like, you don't actually need to say anything. Like, that's the other part. you can actually shut the fuck up and say absolutely nothing. You don't have to say everything on social media, all your feelings, all your everything about everything. No, you don't have to.
You don't need to see it. You don't need to say anything.
That's right.
You can scroll right past it.
That's right. That's right. But some of the biggest creators, I mean, I unfollowed so many of them, like right when it happened. I was like, nope. And these are big time creators who were just spewing crap. And I was like, yeah, no.
As much as I may hate someone, and it's very, like, I may dislike someone, but for me to hate someone takes a lot. But if I hate them, I will never wish harm on them, because I believe in karma. Because if I wish harm on somebody else, it's going to come back to me times 10.
Yeah, I'm not a very revengeful person, but I can't lie. I sometimes, this is so stupid, but like if somebody at work that I don't like, let's make it like regular stuff, you know what I mean? And they fuck up and they get yelled at in the conference room or something. I ain't mad about that, you know what I mean? But I just keep it all inside, you know what I mean? Like you know, like, I mean, that's kind of like, you're human. But I look at the whole killing someone because you're angry with them. This is the erosion of who we are. You know what I mean? Like this weird thing where I'm like, Rick, I hate you so much. And I'm going to unalive you or whatever. I even think that's a problem. You know, they use the word unalive as opposed to kill or whatever, murder or whatever on all social media. Do you know why? Do you guys know why they do that?
You get blocked.
Because you get blocked, right? Because if you use that, the algorithms or whatever think like you're trying to cause harm or whatever. So it's a safety measure. The problem is, doesn't unalive sound so much nicer than kill or murder? It sanitizes it. You know what I mean? It kind of so everyone comes up with all these other words, unalive and da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, so you're still saying the same thing, but but it also, I think, makes it like all of these little pepperings of making things okay, I think also adds to this culture of I hate someone, it's not a big deal. I can shoot them and kill them and we move on. It's weird. It's inappropriate. Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, we had our second show. And I'm going to say a few things about the show and then we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I just had to mention all that stuff. See, it wasn't that hard. You guys get so like, when I want to talk about politics, I'm like, we cannot not talk about this because we want to find the joy in it, not in the killing or whatever, but in the possibility of humans becoming better, you know? I feel like that's my job on the planet now through my little YouTube channel with 130 people. Change the world. Hey, I got one person listening to me. I feel blessed. That's how I look at it. You know? I just wanted to say a couple things. So we do have a new show, Culture and Consequence. It's me and Andrea. It is about politics and culture as stuff. We were going to talk about something completely different, and it went off the rails because we had to talk about Charlie Kirk and the murder of Charlie Kirk. I want to make sure we say that correctly. I think it's going to be a show that works. I think it's okay. And we've already gotten some good feedback. So if you haven't seen it, please check it out on the channel. It is heavy on politics, but we're trying to teach something too. So I don't know, Rick, if you were able to see it, you probably didn't. You were able to see it? So do you feel like you might be learning something and we have facts at the bottom? I don't know. What's your take?
I like the facts at the bottom. That's really cool.
And it's not just the facts. We give you where you can find it. Like that's part of, like, if we say something, we're going to give you where you can find the information. So the show is going to be us complaining, like we fight a lot, but we're also going to try to teach something every time. So yeah, so I think that's going to work.
You might hear every once in a while, and this is where we disagree.
Well, because that's what, you know, was weird. It was so easy to do because that's what we do on the phone. I'll be like, well, this is where we're going to fight. I say that all the time to her. Like, this is where we're going to fight.
She said that too. She's like, it's like we just had a phone call.
It's true. So that's what we're trying to do. We tried to do this years ago, but it just didn't work out, you know? But Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, check that out. Give us feedback. We're happy to look it over, whatever. We're still gonna do whatever the fuck we want, but we're happy to look at it and consider it. We also have our private lounges, which we have now a lineup. Oh, I haven't told you guys this because I haven't had a minute in the green room. I'm so sorry. We're going to have back-to-back interviews over the next few weeks because now we have time. And so yeah, that's going to be interesting. The private lounges always air on Sunday. And on Sunday, it's me and Mario had a conversation that should be interesting. And we talk about friendships. And we talk about how much we hate Cynthia and Rick. We really did.
And next week will be me and you.
Yeah. Oh, is it next week? Wait. We didn't come up with next week.
Well, we were going to do it yesterday, but
okay, Cynthia. Okay, everyone, I'm about to yell at Cynthia. Cynthia, like, what is it you think I'm doing all day? We have an interview next week, so that's why we can't do it next week. That's why I asked you this past week.
I know I'm messing with you.
Okay, we have to come up with a schedule because you do want to talk about a particular subject, but I need to know to what extent you want to talk about that subject.
Yeah, we could do full on everything.
Do you want to do it right now? No, because then we can't put it on the podcast if you do it here. You can't do it here.
Yeah.
But the intrigue, everyone, the intrigue. You're intrigued. What is it we want to talk about? Yeah, okay. Really? You're going to talk about all of it? Even Rick is confused.
I keep checking
like, we're going to talk about Star Wars the whole time. You know that's not true because I know nothing about fucking Star Wars. So we have the private lounge that's on Sundays at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Please catch that. Culture and Consequences on Thursday nights at 6 p.m. It airs everywhere, but you can always check these out on the podcast as well. Carmen Talks are going to be, they're like my little TED Talks, right? That's what they're about. They're always under 20 minutes. It's going to be me venting about something. Those are not a regular thing. Those are going to be on the times I just feel like I need something to say on my own. Mm-hmm. And those will air usually during the private lounge time periods, if whatever, we'll see. And then, of course, we have our Friday night lives, which is tonight on Friday night. So, yeah. So I got that all out. I know we have things that are happening. We have things that are happening. So I'm really excited. So, Rick, how are you doing? Give us the skinny on your job situation and everything else.
Still training this young lady. Yep.
How's she working out?
She's all right. She learns fairly quick, and she's all right. But I still don't know. Like, is she replacing me? I don't know.
You don't want to ask that question? I guess I wouldn't want to ask that question. I wouldn't want to ask it. But then there's a part of me like, aren't you angst?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little bit nerve-wracking, to be honest, because, hey.
I'm sorry. Let me turn off my phone. I apologize. So you don't want to ask?
It's kind of an awkward thing to ask. But.
Really?
Carmen's like, no, I would just ask.
I would fucking ask because I would hate the anxiety. I don't know how, but this is where you and I are very, very different. So I get it. And I know it's, I think it's really mean on his part, but it seems like wouldn't he just tell you? Is he really the kind of person that wouldn't tell you?
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. That's not a good person to work for. So I hear you. Yeah. And you know what? I understand we all have to keep our jobs. And so I don't want to, like in the perfect world, I'd be like, tell him off. But that would be if you had your trust fund, you know what I mean? Like, for your lottery winnings. Oh my God, I won $30 in the bank. I won 30, like I think it's $33. I got like, it was so mean. I got like 2 numbers and then I think I got 2 numbers in the Powerball. Yeah, but it was kind of a tease. Like, really, we couldn't give me 4 numbers. No, you know what I mean? Like 4 numbers. Yeah, I know. So, did you guys win anything?
No, I haven't played.
You didn't play? Oh man, you can't win if you don't play, baby. Like, I'm just saying, if the lottery in California wants to sponsor us, I'd be all for that. Even though that's gambling, I don't care. I don't care. Like, I would be okay with it. Yeah. Oh, that's so okay. Well, Rick, I'm sorry about that.
It's all right. I roll with the punches, deal with things as they come as best I can.
Have you guys watched on Netflix? Because I got myself Netflix for the month. Mia told me today I have to watch K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I haven't seen that.
She said
What's
it's
that about?
animation. I'm like, I don't watch anime. But Mia is one of those people that when she tells me to watch something, she knows what I like. So she's never wrong.
It was so popular. And now, mind you, this is Netflix. It was so popular that for a very brief time, I think it might have been only one weekend, they brought it to the theaters as a sing-along version to make it different a little bit.
Right.
There's a lot of music to it too. It's a girl group
Right.
who are actually demon hunters.
Right.
So, but it's wildly popular. Wildly popular.
I'm just surprised that she's telling me to watch it because normally, she tells me things to watch. I watch them. It's one of those friends, you know what I mean? So I'm going to watch it, but I said, there's no way. So unfortunately, I got Netflix and I was like, okay, let me see what the shows are. Don't get mad at me, but I watched like 4 episodes of oh my God, what is it? Oh my God, they're all the romantic shows because that's my genre. I'm still looking for something like Pretty Woman, but this is a TV show. They're called I'm just trying to think. Virgin River. What the fuck? That's such a weird
River.
Yeah, if you look in the romantic section or whatever, there's shows that were like big at one point or whatever. And I was like, let me check out those or whatever. And then so Virgin River, there's another one, Something Sullivan. I watched like 2 episodes and I'm like, yeah, no, I can't do this because it's like Hallmark on steroids. I'm like, okay, this isn't working for me. No offense to Hallmark. And if you want to sponsor us, we're good for that too. Although we swear here, so I don't know. No, but it was just, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to now, because I already canceled it. It was just for a month. So I have it till the end of the month. I think I'm going to get Disney just for the month so I can watch Chris Hemsworth's, right? Chris Hemsworth did the. Have you guys seen that? People said that was good.
I saw, I think, like the first few episodes of the first season.
Well, I saw the first, right? I saw the first season, but now he has a second one. It's about his health or whatever.
Oh,
yeah,
he did a second one, and it's now on Disney again on National Geographic, which I guess is part of Disney. Yeah. So I'm gonna watch that.
It's pretty interesting.
He's hot. Yeah, that's why I want to watch it because he's so interesting, and I really care about my body and what I'm doing and.
She just wants to see him half naked.
He is so fine. That boy is fine. And now he's like in his 40s. So he's in the right level now. I mean, I know he's
in the
married.
Right age group now.
Yeah. Right. So we have someone I'm trying to coordinate. You guys might want to do I was gonna see if Tony wanted to do it too, but a woman, I think she sets up people on dating stuff. She's like a matchmaker, professional matchmaker, and she wants to come on the show. I was like, are you trying to tell me something? So funny. That might be, but the thing is, she can only come on between 8 and 5 on the East Coast. She can't, and I'm like, we don't film that early.
There's a couple of shows on Netflix about matchmaking. There's like a Jewish one, there's an Indian one. They're actually pretty interesting.
Oh, really? Why are they interesting?
It's just the different cultures and what they go through and the certain types you have to be in. It's pretty cool. I liked it.
Wait, so so it's the matchmaker person and you're seeing it from their point of view, how they're matching people with other people?
Yeah, and like how they like interview the person who's looking for a mate. They'll interview them, take all these notes, and then they ask them. Huh?
What do they ask?
They'll ask them like what their type is, if religion is really important to them, if like all kinds of stuff.
I'm answering all the questions. What else, Cynthia?
Pretty cool.
Well, anyway, so we'll see. I'm trying to coordinate with her PR people to see, but right now they sent me back an email saying if they could do it between 8 and 5, and I was like, that because then it would just be me, and I don't want to be interviewed for no dating crap. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be like this is, and then we go put that shit online. But I don't know. But yeah, so that might be an interesting. That's what I think I love about All About the Joy. We can do all of these different types of shows and have different expertise. So yeah, that'll be interesting.
Even every other day of the week's the same. So that's the only time slot she could do every single day.
I don't know. They just responded to me like yesterday, and I was in the middle of editing, so I didn't respond yet. But it's 8 to. She can only do 8 to 5. Why? What are you thinking?
I mean, if it was like a
Weekend?
Saturday, most people could
Yeah.
do
I know
it.
the problem with Saturday. I mean, I guess we could do it if we did it on a I think it's Monday. I think they're trying to do Monday through Friday. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like I don't like if we do it on a Saturday, then I can't air it till the following week because there's no way I can edit all that in one night. And you know what I mean? Like I just the Thursday show is going to be hard because Andrea and I film that in the morning, and then I'm trying to edit it to get it ready by the evening. You know what I mean? It's just really too much for me. So it'd have to be like we edit it, and I'll ask them. So you'd be willing to do it on a Saturday? Cynthia's like, I'm not saying nothing about no Saturday.
I don't care.
Well, we'll see. I mean, if I'll see. Let me see what they can do. But I thought that might be a fun. That would be a fun episode or whatever. A dating thingamajiggy. So
Maybe we should have Tony on during that
that's
one.
why I thought it would be fun to have Tony on. So we'll ask him. She can help him.
Or Brian.
I was gonna say Brian need to be there then.
Oh, really? That's gonna be too many people. Okay, so one of the criticisms I got today, actually.
Brian, I love you.
Hey, Brian. Yeah, we love you. Yeah. No, we can have Brian on too. But one of the criticisms I got was that they really liked the format where there was only me and Andrea because we were just going back and forth. They said sometimes when there's too many people, it's just too many people. And I said, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. I get it, But it would be fun to just watch them squirm. But it could also be just informative. And also it helps with the editing if there's not a lot of people. So I don't know. We'll see. But maybe it'll just be us three and the person, and then they can learn from it or something. I don't know. Whatever. So Cynthia, what's going on with you? What do you guys want to talk about?
Let's see. Not much is going on. Tomorrow I'm hanging out with my younger sisters from my dad's side. We're all going out to like lunch, dinner, whatever.
Didn't you just have an anniversary?
Oh yeah.
How many years? I know, I'm so mean.
14 years married, 27 years together.
That's weird. Nuh-uh.
I know, it doesn't even feel like it.
I haven't even spoken to you for 27 years. It's true though. Like, it's true. I'm not even lying. Like that's love right there. That's love. Like, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you happy though? You can tell us the truth. Are you happy?
And then today's my youngest grandson's second birthday.
Gray?
No, Xavier.
Xavier. Oh yeah, right.
He's 2.
Cynthia, if you're not happy, go like this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. Okay, well, happy birthday to him, Xavier. Are we calling him X? No.
Well, we call Xavier X.
Really?
I would say Xavier and Xavier. Oh boy, that's confusing.
X and Xavier. So you call the little one Xavier. I don't like that name. I think I've talked about that a few times.
Yeah.
I don't like Xavier.
Yeah.
And I know that my opinion matters. Like it doesn't like at all.
Well, his middle name is Cairo. So
I do like that. That's a cool name, but you're not calling him that.
Yeah, he doesn't really respond to it. So,
but I bet when he's older, he's gonna be like, yeah, I'm Cairo.
Yeah.
Although both of his names are kind of interesting, but Cairo's a cool name.
Mm-hmm.
With a
Where
C.
did they get Cairo from? Oh, I'm sorry, Rick. Go ahead.
I don't know. It's with a K.
Oh, with a K. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cooler. I like K. That's cooler.
Cairo. Okay, cool. I didn't come up with no games or nothing. I didn't think we were gonna be on once Rick, whatever. Actually, I'm just kidding. I just didn't get to it. I'm so sorry. Do you guys want to play a game? I can come up with a game really quick. When I say I mean
I was just thinking though, not to be specific about what, but like
about what?
Is it possible for us to come into some kind of a unity in this nation again and not be so freaking
look at
divided.
Rick bringing it back to politics.
No, I don't even necessarily mean politics. It could be lots. It seems like everybody's divided, and I don't think it used to be this bad. I really don't.
Are you just noticing it now, though?
No, I'm saying it seems like it's worse than it's ever been before.
I think. You really want to hear my opinion on this, or you want Cynthia to chime in? Let Cynthia chime in first. I'm gonna drink my ginger beer, which is ginger ale. It's not alcohol. It's ginger beer. Ginger beer. What?
Ginger is very good for the tummy.
No, I know. Look I used to drink Moscow Mules, and so and this is the expensive stuff. This is from Australia. Okay, so which I'm not gonna.
That's your bougie side.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm not gonna be able to afford it anymore. But I used to drink Moscow Mules, and this is what you use: ginger beer, vodka, and lime or lemon or whatever the fuck. I don't even care. But I don't drink anymore. But I love this. I don't like ginger ale. So this is like a stronger.
Who's it by? We're looking for sponsors.
Bundaberg from Australia. Bundaberg, love you. But yeah, and I never do that, but I really do love it. But it does really help your tummy, but it also just tastes delicious. And they have a diet version, which is actually that's what I would have gotten. What they do is they just take out the sugar, they don't replace it with anything. So it tastes even better. Like this is super sweet, like a soda. But if you get the diet version, they just take out the sugar and leave like a little percentage. And why don't they do that with all other soda? Like, why do they try to replace it with crap and it has that bad aftertaste? You know what I mean? Yeah. Sorry. Bundaberg. Carmen's choice. Yeah. You think that worked? We love it. Rick's going to sing a song now about it.
The Lucy episode when they try to make her do a commercial for a horrible tasting medicine.
Oh, the Vita Vita Vegemin.
So tasty too. And she tried to do it. And they're like, no, that don't work for the commercial. You gotta like it. Like,
that's so funny. Okay, to get back to what you were saying. Oh, was Cynthia gonna chime in? So I think Cynthia was gonna chime in.
No. Go ahead, Carmen.
I don't think this is about politics, but I do think that the reason why it feels so bad right now is because we do have Trump in office. And this is, you know me. I am not going to be hating on anyone. I'm not. But I think when you have leadership that is continuously also being divisive, it's not very helpful. I'm not completely blaming Trump, but I'm saying when the leader of a company is an asshole, there's usually issues with the company, right? That's from my experience. And I didn't mean to call Trump an asshole. I'm talking about like a client. You know what I mean? Like I realize what just happened there, so my apologies. But I think that's part of it. I think what I learned this is how I'll frame it. What I learned this past week during this horrible situation is how much pain our country is in. And I don't say that lightly. I mean, people that I think are good people are so angry that they shrill at having empathy. And I know I'm harping on that word because I'm shook that we're in a place where we can't feel for somebody else's plight, But when you think about it, that's why ICE agents are able to keep doing what they're doing. Because we disassociate that people are human beings. So taking people, shaving their heads, caging them, throwing them and putting them in another country, that's the same lack of empathy. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, and then you're being justified in being cruel to people. So, and by the way, it's not just our country. It's not just our country.
I said, to do that job of being ICE, I think you must have to turn off your emotions. You have to.
Yeah.
That is an objective way to look at it, but the problem is why we're doing it to begin with. So the incentives to become an ICE agent, money-wise, are incredible. Okay. And I'm not here to promote it. I think it's a disgusting thing that we've done as a country. But the reason why we're able to be angry and hateful, because the criminals are in our fields, the criminals are in their nannies and their seamstresses. They're at Home Depot waiting for work. Those are the criminals that we all know that's a bunch of bullshit. But if you're like, I need to make money, I want to make a lot of money, so I'm going to go and do this thing, they've also taken down all of the criteria that it takes to actually become an agent, right? So you and I could now go become agents because there's no criteria whatsoever, basically. And something that used to take months of training now is down to like 4 weeks. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm trying to give you different sides of it, right? Like when we become a group of people that can banish people based on what they look like or what we perceive them to be, we're starting to otherize. The minute you start hating on people because they're not like you, let's use the transgender situation, because I know a lot of people have feelings about it. My feeling about transgender issues is none of my business. I don't have to understand anything. I don't have to be involved in it. But I'm not going to be cruel to people.
Mhm.
But people are like, no, I must have an opinion. I must say something. No, you don't, unless you're personally dealing with something. I don't understand how anything affects you. Like that's a really interesting thing, you know. So I think the cruelty, the inhumanity, and look at Andrea will tell you it's social media. A lot of people want to blame social media. I'm like, that's too easy. It's too easy. That's too easy to blame technology. To me, it's like we have microwaves. And it's when we got the microwave, that's when it all happened. Like to me, that's what it feels like. Because I think social media is a good thing. I think social media has a lot more good than bad. But people who hate social media tend to be people who are never on it. Andrea's not on social media. Do you know what I mean? Like at all. So I don't think it's about social media. I'm not saying there aren't issues with social media, but I think reminding people to be their better selves, no matter what the situation is what I think we should all do. Even if the backlash is bad, even if people are mad at you, like, how can I be more of a human being during a difficult process is my goal. You know what I mean? And that's why people are mad at me. I think I lost like 500 followers on TikTok because I said what I said.
I said what I said. But anyway,
I said what I said, and I'm gonna stand 10 toes deep. You know what I mean? Like,
but like me and you, we are so different and disagree to many things, but we get along just fine. What's so hard about that?
but that's
Me and my
because
coworker are the same. She's
the one
a
you
Trump
bash
supporter.
here all the time. No, I'm just
No.
kidding.
The one I get along with. She's a Trump supporter. I obviously am not, but we disagree on certain things. But on this thing, we both agreed that it doesn't matter what someone has said. You don't, like you said, you don't have to listen to it. You don't have to agree with it. You do have to respect each other. And again, it's still a human being that was killed. And that shouldn't have happened.
It shouldn't have happened, but it also, and again, it's not a whataboutism, but I think we have to remember, because everybody who's coming out on the right, and I'm just going to be straight up about it, but I came prepared in case questions came up. You know me. The Minnesota state representative who was shot and killed in June, Melissa Hortman, her husband was shot in their home because a crazy person, a crazy right-wing crazy person, pretended to be a cop, and she opened the door. You know what I mean? Like, so talk about cruelty, talk about evasiveness or whatever. Not only did Donald Trump not go put anything to half staff, he didn't do no flags at half staff. I don't even think he said a word about it. When I say leadership matters, it does. A leader is going to say something about all of it because he's a leader of everyone. You see what I'm saying? And people on the right who are all crying over Charlie Kirk were not crying over this situation. I didn't cry over either one of these situations because I don't know these people personally, but my heart broke not only for our country, but for their family. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a weird place we're in, but here's the good news. I think we can get out of it. I do, and I'll tell you why. I know. Everyone thinks I'm crazy, but because I have faith in people. I do. I still do.
And Andrea said you're crazy. Remember?
What? What?
I said, and Andrea said you're crazy.
Oh no, Andrea has always, this is why we're very different. But I don't have any other way to think about the American people. And I think what and I shouldn't be talking about her while she's not here because that's not fair. She's going to yell at me on the next show. That's okay.
We love you, Andrea.
We love you, Andrea. When I think about the American people, I think about the good American people. And the good American people are not just white people. They're Black people and Latino people and indigenous people and Asian people. When I say the American people, I'm talking about all the good American people. There's a lot of them out there. You know what I mean? I think when Andrea's talking about the American people, she's talking about probably, and I don't know, I shouldn't be saying this, but I think she's thinking about white America that is, conservative Christian right, that is always voting against their own best interest. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that would, and I'm putting words in her mouth and it's not fair, but I think that's what she's thinking about because that power play of people have a lot of power and they have, that's why we have all these guns on the streets, ammunitions. And I mean, it is because they all believe in, all behind the Second Amendment. We have to have an Uzi because we have to hunt. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but it doesn't make any sense to me because I'm not a gun person and I don't want to be a gun person. And I honestly don't think that's what the Constitution meant. I don't think that's what our founding fathers meant. They could not have thought people would want to have a fucking Uzi or militia guns. You know what I mean? But I think that's the difference, Cynthia, is that's what she's thinking about because over and over again, the American people disappoint her.
Yeah.
I'm much more the optimist, I actually think, especially because I watch so many big time influencers so fuck up in this. I really did. I was like, whoa. But at some point we do have to bottom out. And when humanity bottoms out, when you look on history, we find our way back because sometimes there's nowhere else to go. Now Andrea doesn't think we've bottomed out yet. And that's where me and her may have some disagreement. But I still think we're going to be okay. But it's a great question, Rick. I just think people like yourself who have influence and have the ability to talk, and I say this respectfully, it is always the Jesus folk that freak me the fuck out because they're the ones acting the least Jesus-like. I'm not even lying. What I'm saying is at least a little bit true.
Some people, yeah.
A lot of them. And and I'm not saying you, I'm just saying there is so many people on the Christian right who, like, and I look at, I have my list. I don't want to go there because I don't want to be mean, but that is part of the problem is like, if you are going to have a way of believing, but then you're not behaving that way, that's a problem. That's adding to the division because it's confusing. It doesn't make sense. I don't know how you can love God and love Jesus and hate your fellow human beings. I don't get it. I personally do not get it.
Yeah, no, it's not right. Definitely not right.
But that's what's happening, right? So, and I would never, and look at, like you said something earlier about ICE agents, they have to disassociate. Yes, if these were actually ICE agents, right? If they weren't masked to the gills, if they weren't taking people who actually, most people that are being taken are not criminals. They're not. That's a fact. I'm not making up shit. You've seen it in the news, even if all you're watching is right-wing bullshittery. I'm telling you, just look it up anywhere. And that's what's the weird thing. Like, that is cruelty. You know, that is, to me, that's not about I'm in the military, I have to I have to do my job, blah, blah, blah. That's like I have to find a reason to hate so much that I'm gonna do it anyway, even though I know it's wrong. The division is deep because everyone is afraid to take a step and do the right thing. That really is the truth. Nobody wants to go against Trump and say anything bad because they're afraid for their seats in the House and in the Senate. So anytime he does something, no matter how ridiculous, they're just going along with that. You also have people like Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple. You have Mark Zuckerberg. You have what's his name? Gates, Microsoft, right? Bill Gates. You have all these big tech people also kissing his ass the whole time, being like, whatever you want, because we don't want tariffs. We don't want, because that's money. Money. It's always about money. But tariffs are hurting our people. It's hurting. That's why every eggs are still expensive. You know what I mean? Like, you voted him in for eggs.
It's a little bit better, but still expensive.
They're not better. Where are eggs better?
I used to buy, because trust me, I pay attention to prices. It used to be like 8 something for what I used to buy. Now it's like 6. So it's a little.
Okay, no, Rick. Eggs here are still expensive. I don't know what you're talking about, but eggs have not gone down $2 where I live. I'm just telling you right now, that's bullshit. And I'm not trying to be mean. Maybe in your little store, or whatever, maybe they have an excess of eggs or something, but no. Farmers are the best example. Farmers right now are all regretting. This gets too complicated, but I'll try to make it really easy. Farmers, especially ones who did soybeans, okay, soybeans, all voted for Trump. They were like, we love Trump, yay, Trump, Trump is the best. Okay, great. They vote him in. He then puts tariffs on China. Who do you, and he also got rid of USAID, right? Do you guys know what USAID is? USAID is an organization that we would give, hey, Brian, that we go all around the world and help feed other countries, okay? So do you know why, especially soybean farmers, it kills me. I'm not trying to laugh at it, but it's like, how did you not see this? So now all the soybean farmers do not have a place to sell their soybeans because China's not buying it and we don't have USAID. So now all the farmers are on TikTok crying and upset. How did you not see the logic for that? That's kind of thing when you don't have empathy, because my thought process would be, I don't know what the tariff thing is, like, because most people didn't understand how tariffs work, right? Everyone was like, no, it's not. And again, Google is free. Google is free. Google is free. Seriously. But at the very least, you should have thought about all the people that work on your farm. Let me think about this. We hate immigrants. We hate undocumented people. I pay undocumented people under the table so I don't have to pay them a lot of money. Oh my God, do I really want to vote for Trump because he's going to probably get rid of quote unquote illegals that I pay illegally? Do you hear me? But no, that's not what they were thinking about, because we don't have empathy, because we don't care about anybody else but ourselves. All the time, we have become selfish and self-absorbed. And Brian, eggs are not $3.85 here in LA. And this idea that like you guys actually think the economy is better is the bullshittery that you guys are listening to all the time. The only thing that the economy is better for right now is people in the 1%.
Yep.
That really is it. So maybe in Texas and in Connecticut, you guys have an abundance of eggs for some reason. I don't know. But maybe they're pushing it to the red communities. I have no idea, but eggs are not that cheap in my neighborhood. But you see what I'm saying, right? It's that kind of thing where we all have to do our part to keep our, not only, look at you, I could talk about this all day because I'm so scared for humanity, but I also have hope for it. And I want people to learn. And you asked a question. Will we ever get back? Will we ever be able to? Yes. When you, Rick, start doing the work you need to do and help people understand facts and truth and talk about things like empathy. Yeah, okay. Brian. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to take the chat off because I just want us to have a conversation. It's just going to drive me insane. But that's a great example. That's a great example of kind of the disassociation, like you were talking about ice ages. Just that's what farmers did. By the way, if we really in this country, and this is both Republican and Democratic parties, because by the way, let me be very clear about this immigration issue. The reason why we have an immigration problem in this country, and I'm looking right in the camera, is because both Democrats and Republican parties not only have stoked this for political reasons because they can't get together and do an actual immigration policy, but they use it to win your vote. They're not trying to fix the problem because it makes you hate people, so then you'll vote, whether it's Democrat or Republican. I wish people would get that together. Because if you really wanted to fix the immigration problem, what would you do? Let me help you. You would turn around and say, any company and any wealthy person, this would kill all of Hollywood, by the way, everyone I've ever worked for. Any company, any wealthy person, any farm that is hiring people illegally and paying them under the table is going to get fined. Do you know how quick there would be no immigrants here getting jobs? There would be no one trying to come into. I mean, you might disagree with me, but can you imagine? That's how you would deal with the immigration issue. That's one way. Has it ever dawned on you why we don't go after people who are hiring people illegally in this country?
If you're doing something illegal, should there not be consequences?
But they don't. But that's a great question. So if I'm a mother in Honduras or in El Salvador and it's a terrible place, the poverty is bad, there are actual gangs there, right? It's really hard for me, and I have my child and I'm like, where can I go? And then I pay a coyote, whatever, all my savings to come to a country, and I have nothing but the American dream, the possibility of who we can be. And I come to this country and I get a job. Why are we mad at the person who's trying to have a better job if we're actually good Christian people? Why are we mad? But then someone will say,
and they're doing the jobs that Americans don't want to do.
Oh no, Cynthia, you're wrong. They're stealing American jobs. Right? Like, I want to see I want to see a whole bunch of blonde white women in the field. I want to see that. I would love to see that. They're never going to do those jobs.
Nope.
But
that is something that's going to crack me up when I hear people saying, they're stealing our jobs. Or which jobs are you talking about? Really?
Right. You want it, come get it. Come do the job.
And they're not getting paid. And they're also paying a lot of taxes. They're getting paid under the table, but they have to report their taxes. So they have a separate, I forget what the thing is. So they pay taxes into things they will never get from this country. Mm-hmm. They will never get Social Security because they do not have Social Security cards, but they pay into all of that. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I think these are the things we have to do. What?
Paying for stuff that they're never going to get the benefit from like we do.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's an interesting thing. I wish people, and I keep trying to tell people all the time, you are a smart person. Most people are smart people, but we've been manipulated into believing immigration is the problem. It's only because both parties have done a bad job of trying to fix it because they can't talk to each other. They can't figure it out. And then they use it to stoke the fire. Oh, look at how bad Republicans are. They hate immigrants. Make sure you vote for Democrats, right? And then, you know what I mean? Like it's the same bullshittery all over the place. But actually, if you wanted to fix it, we would fix the immigration issue on a whole different big level. And we'd go after corporations and people who keep hiring people first. Because I'll tell you why I know this. I worked for Brand New School, and I usually don't mention that. It's a design company, and that's where I used to work. When we started out here in Venice, and then it's a pretty amazing company, okay? But we were just starting out. But at one point, we had to hire people that are designers, a specific niche that we did. And one of the things the owner of the company did is he's like, Carmen, we need to get an immigration lawyer because we want to get people from other countries to come here because the talent, blah, blah. I saw this guy at whatever, It costs so much money to get someone, and it takes a long time, but we did it because that's how important that talent was to come to this country. But that's why people hire immigrants for cheap. You know what I mean? That's true, Brian. Both parties are competing on how can I piss them off today. But I think that's kind of vote for oh my God. Oh my God, never. At one point, Andrea got on a kick that she wanted me to run for office. I was like, that's never gonna happen. That's not my jam. No. The political world, that's a very specific type of person, But thank you. I take that as the compliment it is. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think what's more important for me is I want people to know I learn every day more and more about who our country can be and is. And especially we have so much information at our fingertips. And can I tell everyone the easiest prompt? It will help you so much if you're using ChatGPT. No, because I want people to feel empowered. What? No, I'm going to be clear. I don't think Cynthia would vote for you either. No, pretty clear. I'm not voting for you. No. If you ask ChatGPT anything, if you say after it, please explain it to me like I'm 10 years old, it will give you really a breakdown that would be for a 10-year-old. And it's the easiest way to kind of learn stuff. Now, be careful because AI is not always right. So you always want to double check it with something else. But I have to tell you, it's the easiest way to learn some of these complex things. Some of these things that might be too hard. Because usually when you Google, it sends you all these links and you have to go read. And you're like, oh, but yeah, try that because I think if we become more educated and less gut wrenching in my stomach, emotional, and I'm a Republican and I'm and I hate. If we stop doing that and instead start being like, you know what? Maybe I don't really know what the Second Amendment says. Most people don't know what it actually says, right? They don't. They're just like, I'm leaving the Second Amendment.
What any of them say.
But you know what I'm saying, right? Like you can. Well, I'm a big fan. Everybody should have. Let me get it for you.
She has a copy.
I knew she was gonna go get it.
I have more than one copy. I have them in my car. I have one in my bag. Look at this. Is a copy of the Constitution. It's very small. It's not that much to read, but you should know your Constitution. And I don't know about now, though, that Trump is in office, but you could get these at the White House website. You know what I mean? You can get it on the website, and they're not that expensive. You could get it on Amazon, too, but why? You know what I mean? You can just get it although I don't know what the White House website is like now. Brian said, like I said yesterday, if both parties would get their heads out of their asses and meet in the middle, we can move forward positivity. So I'm going to disagree a little bit. I'm just going to say, okay, great. Tony and I covered the Second Amendment. I don't know if I can watch that. I don't know if I can watch it. I'll try. I'll be supportive. Look at Rick. Look at it's not that all Democrat, Republic, independent, non-party affiliation. It doesn't matter. But there are a lot of great things about the Democratic Party. I'm just going to say it straight up. A lot of great things. And what Andrea and I were talking about the other day is that a lot of people think they're Republicans, but they're not. And we didn't get to do the whole show on that, but I think a lot of people think they're Republicans. But you can't really be a Republican if you don't actually follow the structure of what a Republican is. You know what I mean? Austin's a very liberal city. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to ask, are you guys going to do a show where you break that down?
We wanted to this last week, but we had to talk about Charlie Kirk. So we did talk about it a little bit at the end. Did you watch it at all? We talked about it a little bit at the end.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Minutes or something.
It depends, because the other part of it too is like if a topic like that is hot in the morning, like it's happening, we're not going to be like, and we're still going to talk about, like, the whole point is to have a show that's, on topic of what's happening. But yeah, we will eventually. But I think that's not to diss the Republican Party. It's just a different party now. It's not Reagan's Republican Party anymore. Being a Republican is very different than being a Trump person. Those are two different ideologies. And that's what people don't seem to understand, But
yeah,
it's all good as long as you understand. What?
A lot of people, they refer to MAGA as if that's a party.
I love how you said MAGA, like so elegant, like MAGA. You mean MAGA? Just kidding, like MAGA. I love it, MAGA. I think it's become an identity to people. I think it's become part of who people identify with because they want to believe there was a time that America was great for them. Again, that's a lot of story, by the way. Our country, if Andrea was here, she would be knocking me down right now, but she would be, but our country has always been progressing up until recently. Like if you think about things, we've always been progressing. And even though we might take, 10 steps forward and 2 steps back, eventually we would take 12 steps forward. Like we're always making progress. But MAGA is part of the Trump coalition, and it is a very different ideology than what the Republican Party stood for back in the day. And the Democratic Party has a whole other different ideology. You see what I'm saying? And we can break that down at another time, but I'm just saying those are different things. But yeah, people believe that MAGA. I like that better. MAGA sounds.
I don't know why I said it like that. I don't know.
MAGA sounds elegant and shit. MAGA, okay. It sounds so much elegant. MAGA.
It's how the aristocrats say it.
It's how the elites of the MAGA party. It's so funny. I think people want to identify. People like also the slogans and it's how they rope you in. It's how they get you in, right? Like MAGA, whatever. Yeah, I am fearful for people who wear all the MAGA stuff, and like somebody said on TikTok, and I loved it. They said, "I love Barack Obama, but I have never worn a shirt with his picture on it or whatever." Like they were just like, I don't idealize him, you know what I mean? And I kind of get grossed out when I see all the pictures of Trump where he's like beefed up and like what is happening? Do they not see him? You know what I mean? Like, and then like Gavin Newsom is like doing the same thing, like mocking him, which is a whole other issue. Brian says, I've been told that I fall into the Reagan Republican era. But Brian, why do you need to be told? Either you are or you are not. Like, why would someone have to tell you that? You know who you is or what you believe in, And I said it on the show the other day. I'm a conservative Democrat, and that's why Andrea and myself, or Joel and myself, or I can go down the list, all my friends, Alden, all of them are total crazy. I say lefty crazy people, I think most people live in the middle. Most people really do live in the middle. And I think that's a good thing. I don't think that's a bad thing. But now we have what you said, Rick, which we have all these people over here on the right that are MAGA. I'm going to say it like that from now on. And then we have all the people that are, on the left. And that's where the division, whereas before we were more, you know what I mean? Like we were more in the middle, but like Rick, we would have differences in issues regarding pro-choice versus pro-life. We'd have that issue. You know what I mean? And that would be maybe the issue we have that might be dividing us. But maybe we both would agree with, we don't agree with late-term abortion or something. I'm not saying that I don't. I'm just saying like that's, you know what I mean? Like you could have that conversation because people were normal in their division, but now everyone's in their silos, Brian, you have the right to your viewpoints. No problem. I'm just saying, you said you've been told that you fall. That's the problem. I don't want anyone to tell you where you fall as a party. Whatever it is you believe in, just make sure you believe it and you can defend it. Don't just tell me you saw it on Fox. You know what I mean? Like, Fox News is not a healthy place to be watching. Sorry, we don't want to be. We will not be sponsored by Fox. Thank you. Fox News is an entertainment bastion of bullshittery, and I'm sorry. And I know people get mad about that, but that is not the best place. And I'm not telling you to watch MSNBC. Certainly don't be watching CNN either. You know what I mean? I think it's better to get independent voices. Huh?
Was it CNN where somebody got fired because they said something that was like really?
Oh my God, Matthew Dowd. He actually didn't. So Matthew Dowd, I mean, he used to work, I think, for the Reagan, like he used to work for Republicans. So it's so weird. But he was saying about Charlie Kirk, and he wasn't saying it about Charlie Kirk. I watched the whole thing. Did you see the clip where he was talking?
I don't even remember now.
So he was saying that Charlie Kirk, and this is true. I know people gonna get upset, but this is not an opinion. Charlie Kirk said a lot of things. Okay, I can't right now. Charlie Kirk said a lot of things about that were divisive and angry, and you know what I mean? There were a lot of things, and so Matthew Dowd was like, you can't say cruel things and not expect people to get angry. And inadvertently, what he said was he deserved it. You know what I mean? Like that's not what he said, but that's what he implied. And so that's why he got fired. You know what I mean? Sorry, Brian, I just needed a minute to not read your stuff. So now read it. Tony and I talked about what is the reason that conservative is very bad and heavily linked to Republican, but not many don't know that you can be Democrat conservative. Okay, so the difference actually is because conservatism and liberalism are ideologies, and Democrat and Republican are labels. So, yeah, see, we're going to go down the whole, like, Cynthia and Rick are like, what the fuck are we doing on a Friday night? Hey, Rick brought it up. Rick was like, how can we bring our country together? I used to pride myself on being a conservative Democrat. But those are ideologies. And, you know, one of the things I talked about on the show with Andrea was a lot of people like to say that, you know, they're Republicans and that Republicans freed the slaves, right? That's, you guys have heard that, right? That people get really excited. Like, yeah, we're not racist. We freed the slaves. And it's such a tell that you don't understand history. Because the truth is, back then, the parties were switched as far as ideologies. So Democrats believed what Republicans believe now, and Republicans believed what Democrats believe now, right? Southern Democrats were the conservatives. You see what I'm saying? Like, so that's why that doesn't work, because if Lincoln was alive today, he'd be a Democrat, without a doubt, because they changed. During the New Deal in 1930 is kind of when it started. I know. All right, I'm geeking out. I'm sorry, I'm geeking out. Yeah, I guess I really do know a lot about politics. I'm sorry. I didn't realize it, but I do. But yeah.
Well, that's why we have the Thursday show.
That's why we have the Thursday show, but then don't ask me questions. No, I know. You're like, I just asked one question about MAGA. Like, MAGA. MAGA, right? Like, no, look, I think it's a healthy thing. I know you guys don't like to talk about politics, and I get it, but just hear me out for a moment. It's because you fear the conversation, because we're so divisive. But what if you could have a conversation about politics and it be like this, like us learning or talking about or asking each other questions? Or do you see what I'm saying? Like, what you don't want to do is have confrontation and fighting. Fair. But when your voice is not heard, when your question, that's exactly what they're trying to do, is keep us from talking, keep us from becoming a united country. You don't think that the 1% is loving how much this country is divided? All of us here who are not making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year or millions of dollars a year, we're over here fighting amongst ourselves while they're all making money off the stock market and off of everything else.
Most
Brian,
of us
I do vote.
Most
What?
of us are minding our business, just trying to live our life.
But by doing that, as we're minding our business and living our lives and living in these silos and getting into all these fights or ignoring it and not voting or whatever, we're allowing the continuation. We are so much more powerful together. We really are. I know it sounds goofy, but it's so, baby, let me just say something. Like, Brian's like, I chat with you about politics. The problem with you and Tony talking about politics is I don't think I can handle it. I can't.
Oh, Mario.
We're about to jump off. He said, what are you guys doing this weekend? He wants us to stop talking about politics. How you doing, Mario?
How you feeling?
Yeah. Uh-oh. But I think, look at it, I do want to finish with this. I think we should rethink, and I'm not saying we're never going to do this again on Friday night unless it comes up. Like, this was an interesting week, a horrible week for so many reasons. So it was going to come up. And Rick, I'm glad you asked. I am. But I do think reevaluating why you don't like to talk about politics is also really important. It's not that you don't want to talk about politics. It's not that you don't have opinions. It's every time you talk to people about politics, you have to be in a fight and arguing and anger, right? Like that's kind of what it is, right? Brian's like, I'm fair and discussing about it. Like, I know. I don't think I have the patience, Brian, I'm gonna be honest with you, to talk to you and Tony about politics. I choose who to talk to about politics because I don't want to argue with people about things that I know are factual. And that's nothing against you and Tony. I just don't think I have the patience or the wherewithal. Like this thing about eggs being $3.85. I'm like, okay, you're not getting the point. All other prices, like that's a great example. It's like all other prices. Eggs in my neighborhood are not $3.85. I'll take a picture tomorrow and send it to you. You know what I mean? Like they're not. But it was the idea that that's why we voted. Well, we didn't. People voted for Trump. Oh, I just made a mistake there. Because they wanted their prices to go down. And now because of tariffs, we see what's happening. Just me and me only? What is it?
I will say to
He's
Brian
saying without Tony.
Brian and Tony's credit, when they do discuss, and they are very different in their views, they're very civil. So I give them kudos for that.
I think that's good. I'm not saying you're not level-headed and fair. I'm not saying that. I appreciate it. I'll think about it, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it because I'll get too frustrated. It's not really about you. It's about me and my ability to be calm. I know. Like, no, I know my skill level and my ability. And when it comes to politics, I know what I know. I don't talk about what I don't know. So I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not going to argue with you about anything. The difference with me and Andrea is that we both know what we know. We just disagree on it. You see what I'm saying? Like but
it's a friendly disagreement.
Yeah. Well, we're best friends, right? So yeah. It's a friendly disagreement, and
I think with me and Rick, it's more of a teaching conversation than anything else. You teaching us more.
I'm not trying to teach you though.
No, I'm not. No, I'm saying it's kind of just free flowing for you. Like you're teaching us what you know, because you know that we don't like to talk about politics, but you say it in a way that we can understand and be comfortable with it.
Yeah, I honestly know you both well enough to say I don't think it's that you don't want to talk about politics, is that you don't want to fight with people and argue and have confrontation. You're both not people who like confrontation. Andrea and I will confront anybody, any day, anywhere, anytime about anything. It's not even about politics, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is that if you could be in an environment or create environments where you can ask questions or have those conversations in your own world, I think what ends up happening is that you start teaching other people as well what you do know. And if you see what I mean, like the thing that's interesting about politics to me is that it is a puzzle piece. Like when all the puzzles come together, things work out, whether it's, local or state, or like you start to see how your local voting or whatever matters. You know what I mean? Okay, Mara keeps trying to change the subject, but stop doing that, baby. I love you. I love you. He's so cute. I love him. We're going to talk. So Mara just said, after our great conversation, I went and listened to that song, What About Your Friends by TLC. I also addressed the person we spoke. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. We have a show on Sunday that's going to air, the Private Lounge. So check that out. But my point is that I think both of you are such good people. If you can turn around, like even this, like avoiding having the conversation about politics is because people don't want to have, they don't want to fight. But that's not what politics has to be. That's what it has become because we've all allowed it. But politics, when it's done right, and when you can figure out how the puzzles all affect you personally, whether it's local elections in your county and your state, those are the ones you should really be involved in because those affect you personally, right? The judges in your area, whatever. So, but people only come out for the presidential one. You know what I mean? But it's like when you start to understand how it all affects you all personally, it's an interesting dynamic that the United States, especially this Constitution, when you read this fully and actually understand it, and you realize when they wrote it, you're like, wow, they were thinking way ahead of their time. But they were doing it because they were trying to get away from the whole king thing. They were trying to get away from this idea of there being a king who just decided everyone must pay taxes and everyone must give me everything. And I am someone who should be adored. And when you read it, you're like, oh my God, these men were so smart. They were dumb in a lot of ways. I ain't gonna lie. When you're reading 3/4 of a human and it's a black person, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, what? Okay, but what the fuck? But no one's perfect. They tried, you know what I mean? Then we have amendments. Amendments went in to correct some of those mistakes, right? That's what amendments are. They fix, they change, they add. It's a great read. You're interested now, right? Didn't I kind of sell it? Didn't I kind of sell it good? I love this country. I love this country because I still believe in the possibility of it. I still do, you know.
I'm gonna screenshot that and be like, "You heard it here first." Vote for Carmen.
I honestly, I would never. It's not my jam. Seriously, I would never. I take it as a compliment. I really do, but I would never. It is that's a different ball. It's kind of like it's true. It's like you know what your skill set is. You know what I'm saying? Like like as much as I love space and I love watching sci-fi, I am never going to be an astronaut. You know what I mean? Like just because I love it and the idea of it doesn't mean I'm going to be an astrophysicist. You know what I mean? Like this is just not my jam. So, but thank you. But all right. Well, we're at, oh wait, did you have another question?
I just wanted to say one final statement. Without talking, there's no understanding. Without understanding, that leads to confusion and fear. And then confusion and fear leads to fighting. And then fighting leads to insanity.
Yeah. Is that your quote or are you quoting something?
I just thought of that.
Ooh, go ahead. Ooh, look at Rick.
I might have to post that.
I know you might have to do that. Oh my God. Right.
That's gonna be your slogan right there too.
I love how you think you'd be first on that. Okay. Like, honey, I'd be the president. Okay. Like, yeah, no, that's actually funny. Yeah, and look at, I encourage people to run for office. I think, remember, the government is by the people. Like that's what we're forgetting. Okay, like it again. I'm not trying to. I'm just excited that you guys brought it up. I'm just saying. The reason why this is so cool is they didn't want one entity in charge. They made it so that all of these 3 levels of government that the people voted for had a checks and balance. So judicial, right? Legislative and the executive. Judicial is the Supreme Court and all of the federal judges and all that. What's the next one I just said? Legislative is the Congress. So all of our representatives from the states and from all of our territory, all of our districts in our states. So that's Senate and House. And then the presidency. And none of those should have more power. They are checks and balances. And when that's out of alignment, which is what's happening now, okay, because Trump is kind of doing that on purpose. But when all of that is out of alignment, we are in trouble. And that's why you're feeling what you're feeling right now. Because everyone's like this. Everyone's like this, you know? So, but yeah, we the people, that's how it starts. Come on, I'm selling it. We the people of the United States. This is our country.
Because
Okay,
when you're a
all right.
king, like in England, you're a king. There's no veto. She
And
says
there's
it
no
is.
we.
Yeah, there's no we either.
There's no we. Yeah. I'm just looking. Well, this is so much more fun than I thought it would be. I'm just saying, like, I have hope. I'm saying this gives me joy because you guys never ask about politics. You avoid it. But I feel like now you're feeling a little better, a little bit.
King Brian, I'd like to veto that decision. And Brian, off with your head.
Like, oh my God. Yeah. But that's what they were fighting against. That's why they created this incredible system that's being tested right now, you know? So
I mean, they've always said too, like America is an experiment. Isn't that also something that they said?
it's very true, but it's an experiment that was working. You know what I mean? And was growing and going in the right direction. I think we can get it back. I think it's going to be okay. You know, Andrea would say we're not, but
You know, she's waiting for the program to end so she can call you up. Listen,
I'll be like Thursday, bitch. Thursday. We're gonna record this shit. No. But I think what's interesting though is that even though I think sometimes she's pessimistic, I think the reason why it bothers her so much is because she does care about this country. You see what I'm saying? Like that's the irony. Like I don't care what she says. I know she loves this country. Like she's gonna call right now. It's like,
because you wouldn't be that passionate if you didn't care.
Exactly. If you really didn't care, you wouldn't talk to me about it. You know, whenever something happened, we wouldn't be texting each other. Yeah. And I miss those days. I miss the days we would, there'd be an election happening or whatever. It doesn't matter what it would be, and we'd be texting each other. You know what I mean? We'd be like, oh my God, can you believe it? I can't believe Nebraska voted for this judge. You know what I mean? Like, we'd be like, and it would just be like, it'd just be funny. Nah, no heads will be lost. Just swim with the sharks. I don't know what that means. Should I know what that means?
Oh, because I was just joking about off with his head. And he goes,
yeah.
You're doing sharks instead.
Guys, thank you so much. I know you think it gives me hope. It does. Does that make sense? Like that you guys just broached it a little bit and you're not, it's not that you don't want to talk about politics, it's that you don't want to fight and argue with people. And I totally get it. And you shouldn't have to. Huh?
Yeah. And I don't have the energy to fight. I fight all day long with you know who. So I ain't got no more energy for fighting.
Right. Totally understand. Hey, everyone. So thank you so much for stopping by, and everyone who's watching. I appreciate you. Sunday private lounge. We're going to be talking about friendships. Rick's name
Pacific,
does come up. Huh?
12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yep. Rick's name comes up. That's all I'm going to say.
Now I got it.
I know. Thank you so much. Remember, at the end of the day, it really is all about the joy. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.